Well, hello. I'm so glad to be here. It's for our April live Q&A. I'm at my office and I have a really weird setup. The camera, are actually inside our shelves because today I'm talking about selections. And so I needed to have all my samples here close by to talk to you guys. So sorry, I can't figure out how to get this ceiling. I raised the phone and it still doesn't help. So anyway, just focus on me. So glad you're here. It's our monthly live Q&A. Last month, I did not do a live Q&A. I just referred you guys to my online little seminar that I did. But I'm back for my monthly live, and today I'm talking about how do we make all the selections. So I have some notes up here that I'm going to refer to keep me on task. And if you are here live with me, then if you've got a question, please post it. Hopefully I will be able to see it. And if I don't see it during the live, I will definitely answer it afterwards. I am starting about 15 minutes early. I had a large furnishings presentation here in my office today, and it lasted much longer, so I wasn't able to get a few things done that I need to go get done this afternoon. So the Facebook Live got upped a little bit. So I'm sharing with you the steps that I follow when I am selecting finishes for my clients. I know that that's probably the most daunting part of starting a bathroom renovation is picking out all the stuff, because really, literally, there are probably hundreds, maybe not quite hundreds, but 50 selections that you have to make to successfully complete your bathroom renovation. And so again, I'm going to just kind of walk you through the steps that I use when I'm working with a client. So obviously I meet with the client first and we talk about their wish list that they want for their bathroom, and they show me inspiration pictures. So that's where I always tell people to start when they're managing their own renovation, is start with inspiration photos. Be sure to write down what you liked in the photo, because when you go back, you're always kind of like, what did I like in this picture? Pinterest is a great place to find photos and save photos and make notes on your photos. So that's where I like to start. And then I will access those and begin the process. So for the actual selections, I will start with countertops. And the reason for that is there are usually fewer countertop options out there that will work for the project than other things. So I would say there's way more tile options and of course paint colors and things like that. But countertops are the most, to me, they're an expensive part of a project. And there's usually only like a handful that I would even consider for a project. So let's start there with this project. So I'm going to show you two countertops. So what I'm putting together is I'm putting together a hall bathroom for this pretend client that we're working on today. And so this is a guest bath, not a primary bathroom. And I'm going to show you ways that we can make this guest bathroom feel a little more elegant and sophisticated, or we can make it feel a little bit more whimsical and fun if you are doing it for maybe your children. So here is a countertop that I have been using quite a bit, and I really like it. It's called Rolling Fog. It's from the company MSI. It's a quartz, and it is a really pretty, it definitely has a gray, the main color in it is gray. Gray is not going anywhere anytime soon. I am not a huge fan of gray, but I think that we can use it in small amounts, and I think a bathroom countertop is a small amount. So this is a great option for this bathroom here. Another one that I like to use, and MSI is usually a really good price point. Another one I like to use is from a company called Vadara, V-A-D-A-R-A, and this one's called Sereno Bianco, and it's definitely more white and kind of has that Carrara marble look. So both of these are really good options for this guest bathroom that we're designing here during this live. I would say that if you want something more elegant feeling and classic, then I would probably go with the lighter. And if you're needing something that is a little more whimsical and fun, and you've got for kids, and you want something maybe that feels a little bit more modern, I would go with this one. So then once we kind of get some countertops narrowed down, so I'm gonna start with these two. I can only hold one at a time. Then we kind of go into the tiles. What tiles are gonna work with this countertop? And I start with what I call the main floor tile. So this is gonna be the tile that's on the floor of your bathroom. And to keep, you know, within budget-friendly options, porcelain tile is probably your best bet. And porcelain comes in squares and rectangles and lots of usually those kind of shapes. And they're kind of made to mimic natural stone. So let me put this countertop down because it is super heavy. But here are 3 options. These are small samples. So we keep smaller samples here in our office, and when we do presentations, we'll actually get the bigger ones. But these, as you can kind of see, they've got some stone look to them, some variation in the color. And just for instance, this one here is available in a 24 by 24 and a 12 by 24. So a big square, big rectangle. And this one, this lighter one, is also available in a 12 by 24 and a 24 by 48, so a really large rectangle. And then this one doesn't tell me on the back, but it's probably the same. So what I would say to you is if we were doing this more gray countertop, then I would most likely go with a little bit more of a lighter colored floor tile. So countertop, floor tile. So that's one option. I'm going to lean those up here so I can get to those in a minute. But if I was using the lighter countertop, you might want to consider then going with a little bit darker floor. So you have a little bit of a contrast. This is a little more of a modern look, or you can make your countertops and your floors very similar in color. And then from there, it's time to look at the what's going to go in the shower and all that. But before we get to that, let's talk cabinets. So I was doing this for my counter and this for my floor, then I would definitely like and lean more towards a white cabinet. Okay. I'm going to show you a gray cabinet, and you can see, and gray is hard for paint because it can lean kind of purple. You have to be really careful. I don't love that. I like the white. I really honestly like white cabinets. I'm a big fan of white cabinets. I've been doing design for a very long time, and white cabinets have not ever gone out of style in the 25 plus years that I've been doing this. So this is a really pretty combination. So countertop, cabinet, main floor tile, okay? And going back to this countertop, I would for sure go with a white cabinet because I like the contrast of that one. Okay. All right. Now let's go into the shower. So this bathroom has a shower in it, a small shower. So we have to select the tile for the walls of the shower and the floor of the shower. So as I move through this process, just to keep things simple and not to confuse you guys, because I'm going to start confusing myself, I'm going to start moving through this process using this London Fog countertop and this Palladium floor tile. So I'm going to move forward with this and this as my countertop and floor tile. And what I love still, I still am a proponent of subway tile. Subway tile has been used a lot for many, many years. But here's what I like to do that's a little bit different. I like to use larger scale subway tiles, not the 3x6 that you see everywhere. So here is one. This is a 5x10, so it's a much larger. I also love this size. This is a I want to say this is like a 3x9 or a 3x8, so it's a much longer. It's kind of skinnier. Kind of see the comparison. And then let me show you this one. This is great too. This is super long. I don't even know. It doesn't even have the size on the back of it, but it's probably like a 2x12. So this is really, really cool, you know, to be installed, you know, horizontally in your shower walls. But for this instance, I'm going to keep I'm going to use this one. And I'm also going to decide, instead of laying it this way like most people do, I'm going to turn it this way. We're going to lay it in a vertical design. And let me just throw something else out there as an option. This is my, because I'm doing this more of as a kind of a classic bath, okay? But if this was more of a kid's bath, look at this blue tile. So this is a great tile to use on the walls of the shower. Okay, but let's get back to this particular one. Now, a lot of times people will kind of ignore their shower floor, and I say don't ignore it. It's a small space usually. Most showers are kind of like 4x4, 4x6, you know, in a guest bath. It's not very big, so it's not a lot of square footage. And you would find, like, you know, you have to use small scale tile on a shower floor. So, you know, this is one option, but I don't love this and this together. It feels like the same shape repeated too much. So what I would suggest is you do a penny round, which is this round tile on the shower floor. And then this is our shower wall. So this is the floor and this is our shower wall. So I think this could be a really great. And here's the good thing about subway tile. You could lay most of the wall horizontal, and then just at eye level, take this tile, turn it vertical, making sure I'm saying it right, like the orientation, vertical, and do one row of vertical kind of at eye level, and then start back up with horizontal above it. So that's another way. It's all the same color, but just the way you lay it and the orientation is an inexpensive way to get a little bit more of a customized look in your shower. Okay, so we've got our countertop, we've got our main floor tile picked out, we have our shower tile, walls, and floor picked out, and everything is kind of white and gray. And our cabinets, we're going to go with white cabinets in this scenario. So where are we going to bring in some color? Okay, so here is where we can bring in color. Obviously, paint is a way to bring in color. I think that if your bathroom is majority going to be neutral and white and gray and kind of bland, then painting the walls a color is a great way to bring in color, because that's an easy thing to change. But as most of you know, I am a huge fan of wallpaper, and I would say that this is a great option for wallpaper. So it's really neutral. It's just like lots of shades of gray and some tan and some white in here, but it's got a good texture to it. I think is really fun and would look really nice with our selections that we've picked out. It's still neutral, but I just love this simple pattern. But if you were going to do the blue tile and you were trying to make your bathroom feel a little more fun, look at this wallpaper with this blue tile. I think that would be so pretty together. So don't be afraid of wallpaper. If you know me and you've been following me a while, you know not to be afraid of wallpaper. Another way to bring in some color is if you have a tub and you have a shower curtain, you know, bring in some fabric, or if you have a window treatment, this is a really cute fabric. We just installed some draperies for a client of mine, and we did use this. But how cute is this fabric with the birds? Again, if you've got a little boy or a son or a couple of kids, and this blue tile and this cute bird fabric would be really cute in there. So there are ways to bring in color, and we'll get to that in just a second. But I wanted to talk about the walls really quickly. So let's talk the next thing you're going to have to pick out, which is your plumbing fixtures. And I've got a little sampling of finishes that I'm going to kind of review with you. So this is called polished chrome. It's just a shiny silver finish. This is a classic, doesn't ever go out of style. It's just kind of the starting point, price point. And you're going to probably find the most options for your faucets and your valves, your valve trim in this polished chrome. But another great finish that I really like using is called polished nickel. And I know it's going to be really hard to tell in this video. It's also a shiny silver, but it's considered a warmer silver. And hopefully you can see the difference between the two. It's just a little warmer. I don't really know how else to describe it, but it's also considered a shiny silver, but it's going to be a little more expensive to do the polished nickel than the polished chrome. This champagne bronze is also a really popular finish. It's kind of got a little bit of a hint of gold, but it's not such like a brassy gold. It's just kind of a soft bronze. This is really pretty, and I'm also still a big fan of using black. I do not like oil rub bronze. I'm not a big fan of that because a lot of the companies, the oil rub bronze, the base metal is kind of a copper color and you get orange coming through. So I don't love that, but again, it's your bathroom. You do whatever you want. So if you want something a little bit dark, consider using black. But black in a bathroom that's used a lot can tend to get little water spots. I have a black kitchen faucet, and I wipe it off every night after I do the dishes because it does get a little bit of something on it. But you can also mix metals. So don't be afraid to, if you're like, okay, I need to use polished chrome for my sink faucet. Well, then use this for your light fixture and your cabinet hardware. Like, mixing metals is totally fine. This champagne bronze and black looks great together. This is the polished nickel and the champagne bronze. So don't be afraid to mix your metals. So plumbing fixtures are something that you need to consider, and that's of course your faucets and your toilet and the shower heads and the tub fillers. If you've got a freestanding tub, the tub itself. So there's a lot of things to pick out from the plumbing showroom, and usually we get those finished up pretty early on because once work starts, they want to know your plumbing fixtures pretty early on in the renovation process. Then we have lighting, and there's lots of different ways that you can do lighting. Obviously, there's the traditional light fixture that goes up over your mirror. It's just a vanity light, and it's usually 3, 4, 5, 6 bulbs across, decorative. There's also wall sconces, so those are the ones that fit on either side of a mirror, and you usually have at least a pair of those, and they fit on each side. Sconces are really the most ideal light location for like makeup application because you have the light on either source. So I have a traditional vanity light in my guest bathroom, and because it's my son and my guests and they're not really putting on makeup, but in my bathroom I did sconces, and I really like those. Of course, now that I've gotten older, I have to have a magnified makeup mirror, but I do like the idea of sconces, and those tend to take a little bit more planning, as far as the placement. So we've talked about counters, all the tile, cabinets, plumbing fixtures, lighting, and we talked about the walls, whether that be paint color or wallpaper. The other thing to not forget is your cabinet hardware. So I like to mix as far as this is called a handle or a pull. So it's like the long version. And then there's the knob, which is just a little single round thing. I like to put handles on the drawers, and then I use knobs on the doors in bathrooms, and that way you can kind of mix it up. You can also, if you're like, okay, well, I want to do all handles, well then of course you turn the handle like this on doors, and that looks really cool too. So this is a great little design that I like to use because I like the kind of the modern feel to it. So, and then also part of the final details are your decorative mirror. If you're going to do a decorative framed mirror, you've got to get that picked out. And then there's of course the art, because don't forget to put some pretty pictures on the wall, and then your towels and your rugs. And those are really the places that you can bring in some color and some pattern. I know usually when we're kind of looking at all these hard surfaces, they feel kind of boring, and I totally get that. But it's very expensive to change out countertops and floor tile. It's way cheaper to repaint a wall, change out a rug, change out a shower curtain, or even change out a light fixture than to rip up some of those more expensive items in your bathroom. So I think I've covered it all. I don't see any questions. And that doesn't mean that they're not there. When I do these lives in my Facebook group, what I see here on my screen is a little bit different, so it's not the same. So if you have a question, type it in the comments, and I will be sure to answer it. And if you have a question, you're watching this later, do the same. That's what this group is for. I continually say that on every one of these lives. I would love for some more discussion amongst ourselves in the group. I feel like we have 80 members, I think, and very rarely do I get a question. And I'm here, pick my brain for free. I mean, come on. I have clients here in Tallahassee that pay a lot of money to pick my brain. So if you've got a design question or you're stumped on something, be sure to ask it here. So if doing your bathroom renovation has feels overwhelming to you. I want to share something that it's been out for about a year. I put together an online course called How to Renovate Your Bathroom Like a Pro, which is the name of this Facebook group. And I cover all of these selections that I just talked about in detail. I talk about different countertops, different materials, what you should use, what you shouldn't use. I go through everything we just talked about now. It's in much, much more detail. It's just, the course is 5 simple on-demand videos. So the first video is where do I start? And then I go into how much does it cost, which is, budgeting. Then I talk about how to pick everything out, which is what we talked about a little bit today. How long will this take? I talk about scheduling and how you can, I share my own schedule that I used for my own bathroom renovation, so you can see exactly how long it's going to take. And then of course the last video is just like everything else, what I learned, what I would do differently. The course follows along my my bathroom renovation that I finished up last year. So it's all almost like in real time. So I'm sharing with you numbers from my renovation, actual selections from my renovation, the schedule, all the things. And in the course, when you sign up for the course, you get a workbook. And one of the worksheets in the workbook is this, which is my interior finish selection sheet. And this is a great form. This is just one of like 8 or 9 forms that I share in that workbook. That it's great for you. So once you get your selections made, you fill this out and you give this to your contractor and everything's done. So I share lots and lots in that course. So I'd love for you to take a look at that. I'll post a link to the course and a couple other things that we offer at Jennifer Taylor Design. I didn't even introduce myself at the beginning. I just assume everybody knows who I am, but I am Jennifer Taylor. I've been an interior designer for probably like 26, 27 years. And I have had Jennifer Taylor Design in Tallahassee, Florida for 12 years now. And it's, I specialize in kitchen and baths. Right now, it seems like everybody's wanting furniture. But kitchen and baths are what I love to do, and I love sharing my knowledge and what I've learned to do and not do with all you guys in this group. So take advantage of me, okay? All right, thanks again for being here. I appreciate the time change. I hope that didn't mess anybody up, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. And I'll be back in May with another live. I'm not sure what I'm going to be talking about there, to kind of look back on what I've already talked about. And I'll see you guys in May, if not sooner. Thanks.